Hello and welcome back to Revsportz. Rahul this side, and I am joined by Boryada. And in this episode, we are going to share a very important update regarding Indian football team participation in the upcoming FIFA ASEAN Cup. FIFA ASEAN Cup, a newly launched FIFA tournament, but with India confirming an international friendly with Brazil. Now, AIFF is in dilemma whether they will play the ASEAN Cup and also against Brazil or not. So I'm joined by Boryada, as Boryada also to share a very important update regarding the upcoming Asian Cup. Boryada, it's up to you. What's the latest update you are hearing from your sources?
From what I understand, is India will possibly pull out of the Asian Cup. So India will prefer to play against Brazil, in Kolkata on the 3rd of October. They will not play the Asian Cup because there are certain regulations also that FIFA has. You cannot say we will send an under 23 team because that will not be acceptable to FIFA. In such a situation, it is now almost certain that India will not play the ASEAN Cup. India will play the Brazil FIFA friendly. Now the question is why? You must understand that the format of the ASEAN Cup is such that you will play 3 group games. And if you make the final, you will play the final, which is 4 in all. Now, in this FIFA window, which is relatively longer, every team can play 4 games or maximum 4 games. So if India would have played the ASEAN Cup, there was a possibility that India could have played 4 matches, 3 matches in the group stage, and if you make the final, a 4th game. Now, if you are playing Brazil, which is unfortunately on the same day, so if you are playing ASEAN, the final is on the 3rd of October. So if you are going into a tournament, you will have to know or assume that we will make the final. You can't say, oh, we will lose in the group stage and come back and play Brazil. That's not going to be the case. So given the fact that the Brazil match and the ASEAN Cup are clashing, you have to choose one. Now, many might say, why did you not choose the ASEAN Cup? You should have chosen the ASEAN Cup because you have 3 games there with a possible 4. That's one argument. In this video, we are not going to give our opinion, Rahul, that India should have played the ASEAN Cup and not the Brazil friendly. That's not what we are getting into now. They have chosen the Brazil friendly. That's the fact. Or is choosing the Brazil friendly. That's the fact. Let me also give you some breaking news. From what I understand, 2 other World Cup teams are being spoken to. 2 other World Cup teams are being spoken to. I know the names I'm not disclosing at the moment. 2 other World Cup teams who recently played this World Cup. Both these teams recently played this World Cup alongside Brazil, who are also being spoken to come to India to play a second friendly. So if you don't play the ASEAN Cup, you're losing 3 games, possible 4. Brazil is 1 makeup. You are playing 1. There is an attempt going on to get 2 teams or sounding out 2 teams, at least 1, so that India can get a second friendly against a World Cup playing team. That attempt is also on. Now, here is my opinion bit. So far is fact. Opinion. Why is India choosing Brazil? I was doing a social media study, Rahul. I was doing a social media study. And by the way, you are my football head in Revsportz. So I want your opinion also. I was doing a social media study. And I saw when Brazil announced that they will go to Australia, it had some 131,000 likes or something like that. And when the match between India and Brazil was announced, it had a million plus, 3 million impressions. So social media went into a tizzy, absolute tizzy, the moment it was announced that Brazil will come to India to play the friendly in Calcutta. Now, is it because of this that the kind of euphoria it generated or talk it generated or fervor that it generated, that Brazil versus India, is it social media driven that India opted to play or is opting to play Brazil rather than the ASEAN Cup, is a question I wanted to ask you also.
It could be because when I think someone from the Brazil Football Federation, announced that the Brazil will take on India in the international friendly, they actually commented that it's a reward for the huge fan base in India, because we all have seen, how India celebrate victory of Brazil in the World Cup. Whenever they win any single matches, how the whole nation celebrate. We have seen that in India, in Brazil, there's a huge fan base of Brazil national team. And of course, I think the game on 3rd October is going to be kind of a festival in Kolkata. In Kolkata also we have seen during the World Cup, Kolkata gets divided in two parts. One part is Brazil, one part is Argentina. And at the same time, I think India could have sent a team for the ASEAN Cup as well if FIFA would have allowed India to send an under 23 team or a second string team. But keeping on mind about the tournament, I think FIFA haven't allowed India to send a second string team. So that's why India had no other option than to only play against Brazil. As you have already you have said that it's most likely that India won't take part in the FIFA Asian Cup. But I have one question for you. How do you think the football fans nationwide will respond to this news? Because at this current scenario where actually Indian football stands, their ranking is 138, they would have got, three matches against some competitive side in the FIFA Asian Cup, but now they will be playing against Brazil, who are almost 130 places upper than them in the FIFA ranking. So how do you think the football fans nationwide will respond to this news?
Extremely pertinent question. Extremely pertinent question. I think fans will be divided. Hardcore football fans will say India should have played the ASEAN Cup and not played Brazil, because you would have gotten three competitive matches. And if you think from the standpoint of the national team, you could have improved your ranking, gotten some valuable points, and made a mark. One other side will say, oh, you know what? Frankly, you will never get an opportunity to play the Brazil national team. This is a FIFA friendly, not some one individual, like say, take the Messi match earlier, or some match where one individual or a promoter gets a team to play. It's not like that. This is a proper FIFA friendly. So this is an opportunity for the Indian national team to rub shoulders with Brazil, play that match. Massive moment for Indian football. Similar time when ISL will possibly start or has started. So in that sense, it will generate a groundswell of interest in Indian football. That is why India has chosen to play Brazil. And that's why I mentioned social media. That social media will, when you say ASEAN Cup, how much traction will that get? And how much traction will the Brazil match get? It's chalk and cheese. Brazil match will get 20,000 times more traction than India playing in the ASEAN Cup. Is that one of the considerations? So here I think the fans will be divided. I think the hardcore football fan, anyone who understands the sport very well, would have said, Arey, why are you not playing the ASEAN Cup? This was an opportunity for you to play competitive teams, getting points, giving exposure to your national team players. But on the other side, when you come and say, oh, we had to play Indonesia or some other team like that, and we have chosen to play Brazil. Brazil, oh wow, it will become a spectacle of the highest order. So I think that's the kind of division. If you ask me, my personal position in this, as a nut, I would have said ASEAN Cup. As somebody who also understands the market, I know what the Brazil match can do to Indian football. It will generate a lot of hype. That's what is the answer. If it's the Brazil game only, then I would say strongly that AIFF should make the most of the window, not one match. Do what you want, but get your team to play at least 3-4 games. Because if you just play the Brazil game, then you are actually getting your team to play 3 less matches. That's not good enough. Somehow do something to ensure that India plays 3 or 4 matches, which is allowed according to this FIFA window. So whether it is a World Cup team, like I said, 2 World Cup teams are being sounded out. Whether it is some other team, I don't know what other team can be possible. But make sure that your national team plays multiple matches, 3-4 games in the FIFA window, and not just that one match against Brazil on the 3rd of October.
Valid point, but if you look at this year, I think it has been a decent year for Indian football, because they have already got a valuable exposure at a tournament like Unity Cup, where they have rubbed their shoulder against some of the top nation. And now in the coming months as well, as we have already mentioned, India playing Brazil, and also AIFF is looking to organize another friendly against World Cup playing nation, current World Cup playing nation, and also again in November India will be playing 2 friendlies against another World Cup playing nation, that is against New Zealand. So of course it's a disappointing
my
news that
understanding is
India
that
most
also
likely
clashes with the SAF Cup. The New Zealand tour, the New Zealand
yes.
friendlies will clash with the SAF Cup.
Exactly.
So that will be another interesting one, what India does. Will they prefer SAF? What team do they send to New Zealand? How will that work out is another question that we have to answer.
Absolutely. But now, as you have already confirmed that India will be taking part in the Asian Cup, so do you think as a consequences, India will have to give
Not
fine or
taking
they will
part,
be
Rahul,
charged?
not taking part. You said confirm that India is taking part. Rather, India is not taking part in the
No, I
ASEAN
mean
Cup.
not taking part. My bad, my bad. So as India is not taking part, and also it's a newly launched tournament. Last year only it was launched by FIFA President Gianni Infantino. Do you think India will be fined or they'll be charged
Yeah.
by FIFA?
Yeah, from if you pull out, I think there will be a small sanction for sure. I mean, they will have to pay a monetary fine or something like that, but it shouldn't be too much. Shouldn't be too much because originally, if you see, even China was announced as one of the teams. China pulled out. So if India does pull out now, because it is within the 1 month, this thing they will get away. They will get away with a small fine or a small sanction. Uh, shouldn't be too much. Shouldn't be too much is my assumption. But yes, there could be a monetary fine that is imposed on India.
Okay, so that's it. That's the latest update on India's participation in the upcoming ASEAN Cup, and also, whether they will play another international friendly alongside playing against Brazil or not. So stay tuned to Revsportz for more update on this development. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.